Cool. So happy Friday once again. Thank you guys for being a part of the Faith and Finesse Mastermind series. I appreciate y'all.
Thank you for having us.
Yes, and for everyone that's tuning in, I am blessed to be in the presence of the founders of Wear Brims, Mr. Taj Crutch here, as well as Archie Clay III. They in ATL. They from ATL right now. So yeah, well, first, I always want to, I can set the intention of this mastermind. So it's Precious Appreciation Month. You know, it's a worldwide holiday. You can Google it, get all the background information on it. But yeah, so I turned 29 this month, just celebrated my birthday. And every May, I find some way to give back.
Almost in the club. You're almost in the club.
Yeah, so I'm almost there. I'm knocking. But yeah, and so I just wanted to use this opportunity to give people a little bit more insight on my journey, as well as bring some friends along that I feel like can add value as well. I feel like the more we give, the more we receive, and it's just like this constant loop of just reciprocity and everybody just building this community of helping each other elevate to the next level. So, of course, I'd like to start with a moment of gratitude. Dear God, thank you for creating this space and platform for us to convene and converse. I pray that everyone that's here be able to gain any and everything that they came to receive from this conversation. Dear God, allow this conversation to just flow. Allow us to be a light. Dear God, I know in this time that you are allowing us to really make new and get more creative and just really be able to stretch us as creatives, as believers, as leaders, most importantly. So I pray that as we walk into this new normal, that all the tips and strategies and gems that are shared today can be implemented and people can take action real time to be able to just start seeing progress and seeing success quicker and just really realizing their true potential. Where we're weak, I know you make us strong. In Jesus' name I pray, amen.
Amen.
All right. So I guess we can kick it off by saying just kind of how we met, how we got connected. How would y'all tell the story of how I was invited into your entrepreneurial journey?
Tay Money Mitch.
Hey Money Mitch. Hey Martell Mitch.
Tay
more Mitch. You know.
Tay Money Mitch. I mean, I think how life works all works for a reason. I think everyone that me and Taj have come in contact, I think, has been beneficial in our journey as becoming better CEOs and better co-founders in general. I think that I'm a big believer that people come in your life for a reason, and even if they're not a part of the team for long term, they still play a major impact. I think you played a major impact just on how we think in general. You know what I'm saying, about the business. And you helped us understand the importance of just structure. That's what I took away from you being a part with us and us gaining the friendship and you being a part of the team and just being a part of the journey in general. So that's kind of what I took away. I took a lot of understanding that structure is important, understanding that organization is important in general, and understanding that, you know, people that we're with are here for a reason. You know what I'm saying? So definitely grateful to have opportunity to work with you and you being a part of our circle.
Yeah, definitely. To piggyback off of what Archie was saying, first time that I was introduced to you as well, Precious, was a meeting that Tay set up for us in Atlanta. So I didn't know what to expect coming into the meeting. I spoke with Tay on the phone many a times, but I haven't met you or spoke with you at all. But when I came into the meeting, I felt like I gained another friend and another partner within our company that can help us build. I was blown away by your presence because you was on top of everything. When you kind of made me nervous in the middle of the meeting because you was on top of everything, and you made me look at our brand like, hey, we need to be more structured. We got to get things more taken care of. And you didn't leave anything on the table. Like, we kind of like throw out, oh, let's table this for the next meeting. Let's table this for the next meeting. Oh no, you was like, no, let's write it down. Let's get this documented. Let's point exactly when we're gonna touch on this. Who's working on this? Who's working on that? And me seeing that and just talking to you just kind of like opened my eyes. Like, wow, this individual is very, very special, and Precious is doing big things. And I would love to have her on the team. So when we had that conversation, it was like a no-brainer. Like, yeah, Precious is on top of everything. So it was like, let's do it. You know what I'm saying? So I greatly appreciate Tay introducing you to the Web Rims family. At the same time, like you've been a great present to it.
Oh, I appreciate y'all. I love this mushy stuff and sharing all
It's too big-headed.
No, because I'm about to come right back and give the gratitude to y'all. Like, I always appreciate and just so grateful when people trust me and let me into their vulnerable space. Like, building your business, building your baby, that's nothing to play with. And, you know, just the fact that we were able to pick up very genuine vibes and be able to really be in it for the long run is what I appreciated most. And I don't work with a lot of companies or individuals on that level frequently. It's a very, like, I can say, like, God tells me at what level I need to play when I'm interacting with people in different seasons of their life and building their brand and business. And I'm just very grateful that you guys, you know, had open arms with you being in the position of wanting to go from building the brand, from growing the brand, and now you're like, hey, we're now in a season where we're about to scale, and just figuring out what that looks like. And so I was open to the crazy chaos and to figure out, you know, what systems and what structure work best for y'all. And y'all were open to figuring it out as well. Some people aren't necessarily committed to the work. And I've worked with some people where, you know, they feel like they bring someone on to just do the work, but I'm very collaborative. And I love the fact that y'all were collaborative and that y'all were eager to learn and that y'all were, you know, dreaming big. You know, y'all don't play small. And so I appreciate that we were just at that same level. And I think, Archie, you mentioned that, like, we just connected and we just understood each other's language. So
Yeah.
kudos
Exactly.
to y'all, because y'all put the work in, and the abundance is on the way. Okay. So this whole mastermind, yeah, it's all about pivoting with faith and finesse. I feel like there's a lot of pivoting that comes with life, and more so when you are really finding yourself from a personal perspective as well as building a business. There's a lot of pivots that kind of overlap. So what was the pivot for you guys that made you say, let's really take this hobby or this passion and turn it into a real business?
I think honestly, I honestly, and you could correct me if I'm wrong, Taj. I think it kind of started from my mindset, because I was working as my background is HR operations. So we've always known that this is something big, but at the same time, we didn't know, right? To be very honest, like, you never know when you want to go full throttle. Even though we never like went 10% or 20% or under 50%. We went hard every time we did our thing. Even in the beginning, like, even when we didn't know what we wanted to do, or the aesthetic or the narrative, like, we were just having fun, but also creating at the same time. But honestly, I really realized that things were like serious is when we got that GQ, that British GQ. I think that kind of changed my perception on things, even though to us, to many people, it may have been, to us, it still a small level thing, but it was a high level thing at the same time, right? So from that standpoint, I was just like, okay, let's just kind of put more emphasis into it and kind of really, really grind and see where it goes. And I remember I was at work because I knew that this is something I want to do full time. Like, I knew that, like, in my like 7th year of working corporate, that I knew that this is something I wanted to do, right? I felt the energy. Like, when I went to work, I worked hard, I did my job, but something was missing. Like, I wasn't happy. Like, I really wasn't happy, and I wasn't happy at all. Like, I would tell my girl, like, this is something I just don't want to do forever. And I remember I was at work, and if people don't know, like, from an HR standpoint, operations standpoint, when you work at retail, you do everything, right? You do everything, you do every single thing. So for me, I was on the in the back, like, running the truck and throwing things out. And I stopped for a second. I said, excuse my language, this ain't for me. This is not the life I'm trying to live. And nothing against people that have a job, cool, you make good money. Like, that's something you live, we make good money, things of that nature, from a corporate standpoint, from anything. But from my mindset, I said, this is not what I want. This is not what I want to do full time for the rest of my life. right? And then I also knew that me and Taj created a product that was sustainable, right? Not only did we create a dope product, but we created a brand that is sustainable. That's a difference. I think there's a difference from creating a brand just to have a brand versus creating a brand that is actually sustainable at the same time, right? And I think we picked a great product to start with, because at the end of the day, I feel like hats, they're never going nowhere, regardless of what the market does and what the economy does. People will always love hats. Hats have been around since I was watching Harry Tubman movie 2 nights ago, and hats have been around since that time.
Yeah.
Right. So that just lets you know that sustainability of fedoras has been going since we past us being born. You know what I mean? So having that mindset and knowing that that product is there, and knowing that there aren't many brands that are innovating it, right? So for me to answer your question, man, I think that from that point, I called my girl. I said I'm about to quit, and I did it.
So you quit cold turkey?
I went cold turkey.
Wow.
Knowing I wasn't going to have a check. I knew I wasn't getting paid for brims. I knew I wasn't. I told myself that I would take the risk. You know what I'm saying? I will take the risk, and I don't care. Honestly, I don't care. I put on my back the risk. Like, I feel like sometimes it's like I felt it. Like, it wasn't like, oh, I need to. It was weird. Like, it wasn't like a. I don't know how to explain it. Like, it was just
surrendered.
I surrendered to it, and I was just like, fuck it. Like, I'm about to do it, and I'm gonna make sure that me and Taj eat. That's just how I thought, to be honest with you. And I didn't go to Taj and say, bro, I need you to quit with me. No, I did it myself. It's not my risk. It wasn't my job to say, Taj, come with me. He come at his own time. That's his
admirable.
You know what I'm saying? So for me, it's just like, I know I see the tunnel. I see the light at the tunnel. And it's only getting clear as we even doing now. It's just clear and clear and clear and clear. And honestly, that's when I knew that this is something that's going to be for us the rest of our lives.
What about you?
Say that again? Oh, no. Definitely. I agree with Archie 100%. I went another route than Archie did. But we'll maybe know that this business and take it serious and see it like I see that was going to flourish. I told Archie this the other day is when I went to Spell House homecoming, and we really didn't have too many fedoras out at that moment. We only had like a couple color schemes out. But when I seen, and if you ever been to Spell House, Morehouse homecoming, it's flooded with people. It's flooded. So it's like you see just top of people's heads just down a long street. But for some reason, I was able to spot out a person wearing our New Beginning hat. And when I seen that, I was like, I became like a fan of our company. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to take pictures so he don't see me take pictures of him. And when I seen that, I was like, wow, this is something special that we're on to something. This is a gold mine for us, because not necessarily, we knew that our hats would be dope. We will create nice things, but I just never expected to see it on someone's head. Like, that's something a person that I didn't know at all. From a lick of like somebody back in the day, I did not know that person at all. But when I seen that, I was like, yeah, man, we definitely on to something. And then like what Archie said, I went another route with it. And I commend him for keeping the ship cruising down the ocean, because he's been a major part to this company, because like he said, he went cold turkey and 100% wear brims, and he stay on to me about things, you know what I'm saying, and as well as I stay on to him. But I look at myself as I'm still in corporate America as well as brim. So I'm 100% brim, 100% corporate America. But I look at myself as a safety net. You know what I'm saying? Not necessarily we need that, because we're doing very well for ourselves with the brand. But at the same time, you never know, especially the quarantine and COVID-19 just happening. Like, you never know with this world and society. So, you know what I'm saying? I want to look at myself as a safety net, just in case I gotta, throw in and here and there or stuff like that to keep us afloat, because this is never going to die for us. We're going to keep this going to the end, so our generation can take it over after us. You know what I'm saying? The next generation can take it over after us. So I look at it in a different way, but I also commend Archie for doing that, because who knows where Brims would have been if he did it. You know what I'm saying? So I commend him on that, and as well as, you know what I'm saying, taking this journey with him as well.
Wow, the Wear Brand's legacy is strong already.
Mm-hmm.
So how
Yeah.
have y'all had to pivot within this space right now? You know, everyone is figuring out what the new normal looks like in regards of just maintaining an online presence, you know, not being discouraged by the economy. You know, what was that conversation? Because I know every business owner, every team had a conversation of like, this is how we're about to handle the situation.
Yeah, like Archie called me and was like, so we let's have a meeting. So we was talking and was like, it's time to level up. You know what I'm saying? At this time, we need to use this time. We just was discussing between each other. We got to use this time to create, you know what I'm saying, to motivate each other. And at the same time, we're gonna get everything in line. You know what I'm saying? Speaking with you, Precious, get everything structured, get everything mapped out. You know what I'm saying? Get everything mapped out. So when this does pass over, we up and running. We got everything in manufacturers. We got all the designs out. It's nothing stopping. Everything just rolling in and flowing in. And it kind of was crazy when this shutdown happened because we had a hat that was about to release. There was being shipped out that day, and then they shut it down. So when us not receiving that product, and it's like, wow, like, oh my gosh, what we gonna do? You can go into a panic mode, you know what I'm saying? Because you have customers that really want their product. And so you can go to a panic mode. But at that time, what made us feel comfortable because Archie was quick on it, let them know like, hey, this situation, what's going on, sent out an email. Nobody complained. Nobody wanted a refund. Nobody knew nothing because they respected that we was on top of it. At the same time, they still wanted the product. So that was a blessing on its own. And so we're just pivoting right now to just figure out what can we do to build up Wear Brims. Archie came up with a dope concept to start the interviewing process with the segment called Brim Up.
Yes, I loved it.
I'm gonna let them go more in depth in that, but I just feel like this time we're just using it to structure out our company to build it to where we want it to be, and at the same time create and design new product that people have never seen and will see as soon as this quarantine is over.
Yeah, man. Just to add to what Taj, I think I ain't gonna lie, shit was stressful. I ain't gonna paint no fucking picture, bro. This shit was stressful. Like I remember before I called Taj, I was like, oh my god, dog. Oh, this is not happening. Because like we literally was supposed to receive the hats like the day like this shit was stressful. Like we literally was supposed to have had the hats. Like they was supposed to have been shipped out. Like before they had been getting it. Like, I wasn't worried about the other or we have already paid for 3 hats in production, full.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So just imagine like that's like 20 bands that we don't have.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So like for me, it's just like I was stressed because just to be honest, like we know as how we are, right? We know how we react to when we buy stuff.
Yeah.
When it says it's supposed to come. Or we don't we place an order, like especially if it's a black business. That was what was going through my mind. I think it's a difference between because I know plenty of times where, for example, Carmack goes home would drop something on Bloomingdale's. You won't get a pre-order, and you won't get it for like 3-4 months. They're not hitting them. They're not hitting up Bloomingdale's saying like, "Oh, where my stuff at?" They wait until it comes, until they get their email. So there's a different expectation for us as black businesses. Honestly, just be very transparent. There is a difference. Like we treat us differently.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And maybe we don't realize it, but we do. We do. So to be honest, when I called Taj, I was just like, we gotta move. Like we gotta move. So I was like, yo, we need to communicate with them and we gotta communicate with our manufacturer, see what's going on, like what's gonna happen, things of that nature. I mean, I talked to Taj, like we kind of put together a game plan. And I was just kind of thinking of different ways of like, so we already knew we was gonna do a baseball cap and we already knew we was gonna do a hoodie. Right. But then it was just like, okay, we gotta figure out a way to still bring in some type of revenue but at the end of the day, like we knew that it wouldn't suffice from the fedoras. The price range is totally different, you know. But I kind of had to calm myself down and kind of just get in the mode of just realizing like just ain't shit we can honestly nothing we can do about it. So all we can do is I realized that we have to be very transparent and honest with our customers. And like you said, when I sent the emails out, no one was complaining. And honestly, to go back to that first question you said, this is when I really realized that, okay, this is what it is. Like this is what God gave us for. He gave this for a reason, because if this wasn't the case, like they would be asking for refunds. Like I was just kind of in my head, I was like, yo, okay, like we did like how many half, like 110, 120,
Yeah.
like hats we pre-ordered, like we sold those. So that was like a good amount of money. A good amount of money. But my head, I had different shit going through my head. Like I was talking to Ty, like he probably thought, like, you okay? You crazy? You got out in my head. There was so much stuff going inside my head. It's like, okay, what if all 100 people want refunds? I'm like, let's go kill our account. We gonna go in the negative. I'm like, in my head, I'm just like, in my head, I wasn't trying to think negative, but I was just trying to think all options of what could potentially happen, because you don't know. Like at the end of the day, it's like I can't control the customer. You know what I'm saying? Like they may think that, because I did have one customer say, like, everybody else shipping out stuff, well, I can't ship out stuff. And I had to really tell her, I said, hey sir, I said, call me. I said, call me right now. Like I literally would be on these phone calls. And the thing about it, we haven't had many. Like honestly, I'll tell you this off full transparency. We've had probably 5 people where I had to talk to. And once I talked to them and explained the situation, they were okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, they talking to the founder.
Yeah. So I had to really have these conversations with these small group of individuals to let them know, like, hey, we're not scamming you. Like, this is really something that we really can't control. Like, we had to almost was get ready to get shipped out to get to us. And to fast forward, it's been like 2 months.
Right.
We don't have shit.
That's insane. Like honestly, well, I want a few things. So one, I want to commend you on going through every single emotion. Like it's okay, and I encourage people to go through every single emotion, because that's part of the process. You know, we can't necessarily act like we're not. You know, we can't discount or discredit how we feel, because it's a human thing to do, is to feel. Secondly, I also appreciate the fact that you didn't sit there long. You know, you got some people that will sit in that space of indecisiveness, or, you know, choose to just continue to take in what people are feeding them. But you decided to, okay, I feel this right now, but let's really figure out what a game plan is. And then lastly, look at that. You've increased your customer service skills in the process.
You know what? The customer service skills always been there. Because in retail, you got to like, you got to have moments where it say, you ain't getting 10%, my guy. You got to have moments like, okay, I'll oblige you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that, honestly, I feel like this, to be honest, like, I feel like this has helped us, because I feel like me and Taz have gotten closer during this time period. I feel like now we really are understanding like what the fuck to do now. It's like, okay, like, the thing about it, like, me and Taz, we don't have to have meetings, but we communicate every single day. You know what I'm saying? In some form or fashion, in order to figure out how we're going to navigate this situation.
And continuously pivot and continue to figure it out.
Like we crave to bring up a conversation.
I'll be waking up saying, Archie, quit texting me in the morning, guy.
I've been texting Todd all day.
I'm waking up to jump on a meeting, and he already texted me. I'm like, what the heck?
You know what I'm saying? It's time probably get on my nerves, but in my head, I'd be like, I don't care.
I mean, that's part of a partnership. That's part of a brotherhood. So, I mean, right now, you're in a space of like growing and elevating and just really embracing the change. So let's like take a flash back to when some of the beginning stages. Share one of the stories or moments where you had to like, you were low on resources, whether that was money, time, people, a team, whatever, but you had to finesse this situation because you felt like this was going to be the pivot, this was going to be the move that the company needed.
I mean, I feel like we've always had to finesse. We've always had to
finesse this whole,
Yeah, like, I'm not even going to sit here and paint a picture. Like, nothing's been perfect for us because we've been growing very slowly, but in a great, and I'm not going to say very slowly. I'm going to say that because people look at us and say, oh, they did a lot within 3 years, which we have. No, get me wrong.
Most definitely.
A lot within 3 years, but in my eyes, I feel like we have done, but we haven't. But at the same time, I look at it as a positive thing because I'm looking at it like, if you think about it, like everything that has geared up to now, it's been on time. Right? So just imagine, Taj, like Precious, let's say we was doing year 2 we was pushing out 10,000 units, right? Year 3, we scaling to, let's say, 20,000. Mm-hmm. Now it's like, damn, like we did, pandemic happened. Now it's like, whoo, just imagine like how much that would have hurt us versus how we're moving now. Now it's like, okay, we did 50 band last year. Now we've double scaled up this year. Okay, cool. But then it's like, okay, we can still make it. You know what I'm saying? Like we can still make our sales go in some form of fashion just based off of being strategic and understanding how we've done in the past. Like I feel like we've done a great job of just moving in a great pace. Mm-hmm. You know, from year 1, like doing, like we've been very smart. Like me and Tosh, like when we first started, we only did like 40 hats. And you know, honestly, when we talk to venture, like people that investors, they be like, why only 40 hats? It's like, okay, you want to give us some money for that? Get in here,
exactly.
Right.
It's just being smart. Like I hate when people say like, why y'all only do that much? It's like, why not? Why would you go full throttle and put all your, like, we put a lot of money, but why just go crazy when you don't know the market yet? We didn't know. We love hats, but we didn't know the business behind it. I didn't know the business behind it. Like Ty didn't know the business behind it. We didn't know the design behind it either.
I always ask them, like Archie said, they'd be like, why you only did 40 hats? But I'm saying, do you know anybody that create fedoras? Like, do you know anybody that know that process? You know what I'm saying? And if you do know, you know what I'm saying, like, ask them how many hats they started off with. You know what I'm saying? They'll tell you the same thing. A lot of people that create fedoras besides these big companies, they do one-of-ones, like custom made. So they do one hat per order, you know what I'm saying? So it's like they'll do a custom hat, design it up for you, but they're not spending as much money to make a bulk order or whatnot of a production. They're only doing one hat for that person. So they might, you know what I'm saying? So it's not going to, they're not going to lose that much if that person end up clicking on them. Yeah. So I'm agree with Archie. Like I hate when people say that because you don't know.
To add to Taj, just like, it's the smart thing to do with any business, unless you have financial backing. It's a different situation. And honestly, when you look at these bigger companies, like I've been really big on podcasts. Like Hypebeast is like, their podcast is like my favorite one. Like all these companies have done the same exact thing. Like the only ones that went full throttle is when they got that $2 million investment, where they were able to say, hey, okay, now we're going to push it. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody has their different situations of how they move. But honestly, most of your bigger companies don't get popping until like year 3, 4 anyway, or 5. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's not discouraging, but it's annoying when I hear someone say like, why you only did that many? Or like, especially talking to somebody that's an investor, it's like, why would you want someone, if I'm an investor and I'm talking to you, Precious, and you say, hey, I only did $10,000 my year 1. And then year 3, you say I did $500K. I'm like, shit. Okay, so how did you do that?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But I want people to understand is like, that's how much value we have in our product. We were supposed to do $500,000 this year. Mm-hmm. We're gonna damn near do 300K. That shit's not gonna stop. Mm-hmm. But my reason for saying is that that's how much value we have in our product. Like that's how much value, not even our product, that's how much value we have in our brand. Because honestly, it's the product, but it's the narration of our story that's selling. Like people buy because they see me and Taj. Mm-hmm. And then once they get the product, they say, fuck. Mm-hmm. It's the product too. Oh, they lit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It matches. I can honestly say you guys have very, very solid brand equity. Like your equity is solid in the marketplace. Just think about it. You're Black men, you're in the fashion industry, and you sell specialty items, novelties. Like you're in the novelty business, and a lot of people don't know how to do that well. And you're also targeting men and women. Yeah. So you have a lot of different things that make you guys have a very unique value proposition when we talk about sustainability and being in a position to like really grow from a marketplace perspective. So let's get a little personal though, you know? You guys have grown a lot as, you know, from boys to men to businessmen. You know, both of you are in relationships. Like, how have you been able to really manage and navigate your growth just as a man in this process?
Honestly, bro, I mean, I can go first.
Go ahead.
It's family. Off top, like it's family. That's the only reason why. I ain't gonna lie. That's the only way I made it. I've made it because of my family. I feel like not even my family. When I say my family, I'm talking about friends. I'm talking about Taj. I'm talking about you. I'm talking about Tay. Like I feel like we've had a lot of people around us, and this is not just me personally. I'm talking about. I'm gonna speak for both of us. I feel like we've had a lot of people in our circle that's been very, very, very supportive. Like I'm talking about like very supportive. Like not even just from a financial standpoint, but from just postings, just from words of just encouragement, like
pulling up.
All of it. Like I feel like we would never have made it if we did not have a strong support system behind us. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, it's like we know we have a dope product. We've always known that. Even as we migrated through our trash hat in the beginning, that's what I'm talking about, to our our staples now. Like what you see now is it's only comes better as we grow. But honestly, just from both of us, like I feel like our family, and honestly, I feel like I've had people I feel like this is where I'm supposed to be because I've been put in these different situations that have aligned me to where I am now. Like from the relationship I have, like from my girl, from my mom, from like my line brothers to Taj. Like it's crazy that I look back. It all happened for a reason. Like I tell this story in the beginning. Maybe people may not know. I was in the past I was engaged, right? And I say if that would never have ended, I would never have created my company. If my company was never created, I would never have the current girl I have now. You know what I'm saying? So everything that happens for a reason. Like friends will never been created if that shit never ended. Let's be honest. Let's be pretty much honest because when it happened, I put all my thought process and ideas into that shit. You know what I mean? And that's just how life works. It's nothing against no negativity against nobody. It's just how life works. You know what I'm saying? So I'm grateful for my growth. I've grown a lot, like especially within this last year and a half since I've been full time. I've grown so much, not just from a business standpoint, just from a personal standpoint, individual standpoint. So I'm definitely grateful for everyone. Like I'm definitely grateful for Taj because this wouldn't be happening if I never would have brought the idea to Taj. I couldn't have done this without Taj. Point blank period. You know what I'm saying? So I'm grateful for everything that's come my way. That's why I'm so passionate about it because I feel like it's not just me that I'm winning it for. I'm winning it for Taj. I'm winning it for my mom, my girl, like my parents, like everybody. Like we have to be successful. Like that's the only way. It's not an option. Like we have to do we have to put plus $1 million, whatever time period. You know what I'm saying? Like we have to be able to. I told Taj like my goal is to get to the point where we could just create. Honestly, like that's the goal. Like
just create.
Just create. Like I feel like I just want to be able to say to Taj, let's go create a big ass pop up in the middle of the city and have that shit lit. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like that the goal is to be financially able to create.
Yeah, and like Archie was saying, like especially like family, that's key. Family is key, and our brand is tied around family, and it was motivated and inspired by family. Like he said, not just our immediate family, friends, and friends that support us and that we encounter, or say for instance, like we brought to the family as well with meeting you, Tay, you Precious as well. But from a timeline, from like you said, as a child, and then moving to the youth into the adult. And I say it started from family back then because for me, I watched my grandparents go to church every day and my Nana and Granny wearing their church hats, you know what I'm saying? And look at it now, I'm creating those hats that, fedoras that they used to wear back in the day. And like Archie was saying earlier, like fashion always been in our bloods because throughout college, we always was styling, being nice on Instagram, making sure we're presentable anywhere we go. And I get that from my mom because my mom is very stylish and she always told me, like, no matter where you go, make sure you look presentable. So I never wore sweatpants or hoodies or anything like that, to school. And no knock on anybody that do that, but I'm always dressed up and everybody used to be like, yo, we going to chemistry, why you dressed up? You know what I'm saying? Like, why you getting that? Because I never know who I meet. I might have to talk to a professor that day. You never know. You might run across somebody that want to give you a scholarship. You just never know. But at the same time, like, your friends and family backing you up. When we first told our friends and stuff like, hey, we're gonna create our own company. I know when I told my friends and I was like, hey, I think we want to call it Brims. They was like, that's a fish? You know what I'm saying? Like they you know what I'm saying? Is that a fish? You know what I'm saying? Like they joking with me, but you know what I'm saying, they always support it, you know what I'm saying? And it goes all the way back to when I worked at Stepping Style, and that's where it all began because like Archie was saying, if I never worked at Stepping Style and meeting TJ and becoming an alpha, and then from there meeting Archie on Spring 11, this might have been two different type of things. I could have been making shirts, Archie could have made jeans, you know what I'm saying? Right. It's anything, it could have been a whole different story. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. It could have been a whole different story, you know what I'm saying? But our story was meant for us since our beginning, you know what I'm saying? So
tell about our first event, like.
Oh, that's what I was getting to. That's what I was going to. That's what I was getting to. That's
Look, y'all already connected. Y'all in the same way.
Yeah. That's what I was going to get to, and because it's like once we came up with the name and got the hats and everything, we got the 2 samples, and I think we already started selling the first hat in the beginning, and then we were just premiering the orange and the red hat. Archie was like, "Hey, let's do a release party, like just a celebration for us starting our new company with LLC. We're official, you know what I'm saying? We got to start this company." I was like, okay, cool. And this is the point. I wasn't in Atlanta yet. I was still in Alabama. So I had to come to Atlanta. Yeah. But when I say that night was so special and seeing everybody there supporting us from just starting our business, like that was amazing. Like it brought me to tears because it's like, this is something special. Like this is one of those days, like I only cried on certain days, graduation and when we had that party, you know what I'm saying? It's like, that was another graduation for me, another step in my life. And that made my mom come to tears as well to see all these people come out and support us at that day. So it's like, that was just eye-opening. Like we had people flying in and everything. So that night was so special. And I didn't understand why Archie wanted to do that, but now I did. Now I do understand it. And when I go back and look at it and answer your first question again, that's another one that really opened my eyes. Like, yo, we on to something. And not everybody wear fedoras, but people love our story and people love how we are presenting it.
Yeah. Wow. I really love how authentic you guys are. Like this is your life. Like you've literally figured out a way to design and create your life where you're fully operating in your passion and really just taking ownership of your own happiness, you know, and trust. And I feel like there's a lot of trust that comes with that and trusting in God. How has your faith played a role into this journey to where y'all are now?
Yeah, nothing. It wouldn't be possible without that man above, man. It would not be possible without him because every night, you know what I'm saying, you pray to the Lord and you ask him for that guidance. You know what I'm saying? You ask him for that one hint. You know what I'm saying? And he might throw it to you in a dream. He might throw it to you in any type of sign. Someone might trip over and hat might fall off. You know what I'm saying? You never know where you'll get that idea that he's sending for you, and he's gonna put you through things to see how tough you are. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, he's putting you through that because you know that you can make it through, and he want to see you succeed at the end of the day. So, like my grandparents, before I get off the phone with them all the time, God love you, so do I. We say that all the time, and that's one thing we say to each other all the time. Because without that man, like there would be no Brims, there would be no one, there would be nothing. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I'll give all.
Take that one.
Huh?
You can't say that. Okay, copyright.
It's like it's nothing would be possible without him, and I feel like the faith has been amazing, and I take nothing away from that at all.
Mm-hmm.
My turn.
Yeah, cool.
No, I agree. I think for me, it's a little different because I like to be very, like, to answer your question, I think that being authentically and being organically us, that's just a part of our brand. I think that's just what's going to help us win. I think even when we do become a big $1 million company, which is right around the corner, we will always be this way. Like I will make sure that we will always be this way because I think this is what we are. This is how we've been successful. So we might as well like keep it going. Right. And to answer your question, I think my spiritual journey has been a little different. Like I come from a Muslim household. I come from a Muslim household with a little bit of Christianity at the same time, and mine's a little different. My father had a mental breakdown from the Islam, and that kind of like changed my perception of a lot of things when it comes to the mosque. And my grandparents weren't always the best grandparents, and they were stuck in the church. So I've always struggled
Mm-hmm.
with my spirituality, just be very transparent.
Yeah,
But
no,
I've always believed in God. I've always believed in God. I've always believed there was always a higher power. But honestly, I feel like me and Taj having this brand has helped me realize the importance of my spirituality. And I think I've gotten really, really stronger, especially during this time. Not to say I've only prayed doing bad things, but I don't pray for things anymore. I may just be I may be cooking. I just say, God, I ask you to guide me to my excellence. That's what I say. I am really big on that. And I just kind of move within myself and I just talk, you know what I'm saying? I talk with myself and just talk with God and I just kind of have those intimate conversations just to kind of push forward, you know? And it's definitely helped me a lot for sure because I've been a very emotional person in the past. Like I'll be the person that always to react first versus, you know, my line brother used to call me back in the day a fight starter. Like that's what I used to do. Like I didn't think first. I swung first. That's what it was. But I think that now it's just like I realize, even when Taj will tell you, I'll call Taj and be like, we about to have a problem with somebody because they done did something. He'd be like, calm down, calm. You know, but I think that Taj is the
story. I got a little story on that, but I'll let you finish.
You can tell it too, Taj. Taj is the level-headed one. I'll be trying, but don't let Taj fool you. Taj, he'll be like, he'll cut him. He'll be like, we cutting him off quickly. But he'll think about it. Boy, I'll be like quick too. But honestly, I've realized that I'm understanding that during this time, like having a stronger spirituality, like things happen for a reason. Right? Most importantly, God doesn't put you in any situation that you can't handle. And I think that that's just real. But I think that, like I said, like everything that's happened has led us to here. Right. And honestly, I tell Ty, we had a conversation a couple days, shit every day. We gonna come out this shit better than ever.
Yeah.
I'm a firm believer. Like we've had some conversations, right? Like we just had some conversations with some dope people, and it's only getting doper from here. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just excited. I'm excited for my own spiritual growth and for us in general.
Yeah, no, I appreciate your transparency and just bravery within that and figuring out what your relationship looks like. I think that's really what it's all about, is figuring out what your relationship looks like with God and being able to have that direct line of communication and wanting to seek him, because that's really all he wants us to do. He's like, I have everything you need. Just seek me and trust me and I will provide that. So I can definitely say I've definitely developed a stronger relationship with God as well, and just being more disciplined. Like the more I've been able to be more disciplined with making him a priority, everything else tends to just kind of map out. And, you know, I'm not too stressed about anything. Of course, you know, as creatives and just wanting more, you consider and think about a whole bunch of stuff. But, you know, in him, I find my peace. And I've adopted the whole concept of done, not perfect. You know, just get it done and then let God fill in the rest. And so it's been a very, I just hope a lot of people come out of this better and stronger, because I feel like that was the intention of it all. I have some rapid fire questions I want to ask y'all. So the first few of them is going to be, you're going to have to choose either it's Taj or Archie on the question I asked. Okay, it's going to be one of y'all going to be the answer.
Let's go first.
Okay. Oh,
so
wow.
y'all will answer at the same time. I'm going to ask the question. I'm going to see if y'all come up with the same answer.
Oh, so it's one of those.
One of those, yeah. So who's the first person to hop on the conference call?
Taj.
Okay, who picks out the fabrics?
Taj.
Yeah.
Who responds to the company DMs?
Archie.
Who takes the best notes?
Archie.
Who eats the healthiest?
Ooh.
I don't know about that one.
I don't know. That's a hard one.
I be eating. My girl be having me on some weird diet, so I might.
Yeah,
I don't know.
you might. I eat. My girl be cooking salmon and salad.
That's what I had today.
Yep. I mean, yeah. So, but I don't know how to cook, so I can't say I eat healthy. So I don't know how to
cook. Who stays in the gym?
Archie.
Me.
I'm little.
I ain't been to the gym though lately.
But I'm little though, so he been in the gym more than me.
He been in the gym. Okay, so audio book or real book?
Audio.
Okay. Riding Peach or Posse?
Ooh, Right,
I
Peach.
go Ryan Peach.
Ride Peach,
Right,
Ride
Peach.
Peach.
Right, Peach.
Okay, New York Fashion Week, fall or spring?
Fall.
Yeah, fall.
Fall.
Mhm.
Last question. What is your definition of love?
Ooh, you gotta go there.
I feel like my definition of love is that presence that you would want to be around at all times. That trust that you seek in people. You know what I'm saying? I feel like that's my definition of love. Love is that feeling you get when you know that no matter what, that person or whatever is going to be there for you, and then they're not going to steer you wrong. I feel like that's what love is, not necessarily within a relationship, within like family, friends. Love is just that trust factor. That's what I feel. When for me, I feel like that's what it is. What it is with love, and to do for others, that they would do for me. So if I know that person will go to war and back for me, you know what I'm saying? I feel like that's love because I would do the exact same thing. That's just my definition.
I think love is
Love.
I feel like, why you gotta go so deep? You know me, I'm deep. I'm a deep.
Yeah, that was deep. I was like, ooh, that was a good question.
love. Oh no, I think love. Honestly, I think love is unconditional. I think real love is unconditional. I think real love is being able to communicate easily, even when you feel uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Right? I think love is when you want to cry, you feel comfortable crying. Because not everybody wants to cry in front of the person they love.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And just from what I think that if you're able to cry in front of that person and not be judged, I think that's what's love. I think, I kind of prefer. I relate a sense of love is just how my mom loves me, regardless of how much I get on her nerves. She always loves me. Like I always. I think how I was raised is like I would get in trouble, and it's like sometimes it gets me in trouble now. It's just like I get in trouble, but then we start talking right back then. Like it's like I get beat. An hour later, oh, what's up? We good. So sometimes, we know how you get an argument with your girl, and then you like argument, and then you try to go holler at that. It's like, leave me alone. I don't be like, oh, you gonna talk to me, motherfucker. You don't talk to me. That's my definition of love.
Awesome. Well, yeah, you guys have any inspiring words to give to all the creative entrepreneurs out there that's, really just trying to push forward with their business and brand?
Stay motivated. I think stay motivated and inspired. I think there are a lot of people out there that are trying to do that for people like ourselves. And never give up. I think a lot of times people get so discouraged when things come their way, but remember that, it's only coming your way because God knows that you can handle it.
Right.
When you give up, that's him telling that you're not ready for that yet. You know what I'm saying? I think that we've been in this pandemic has had a lot of people on edge. It had me on edge, you know what I'm saying? I'm sure it had you guys on edge. And I think that this is God's way of telling us to slow down, rethink, organize, talk to your loved ones, talk to people you don't talk to, because now we're in the crib. Like, we got to talk to people. We got to talk on the phone. We got to communicate. And I think that, during this time, like, even I think you said it perfectly when you said come out this a better person. It's not about coming out the quarantine or pandemic with a business or a product or whatever that may be. Come out a better person. I feel like when I come out to this dog, I want to be in a better position to do more. And I realized that I could be long-winded at times, guys, so y'all tell me to shut up. But I realized that it's so much more that we and myself can do for our colleges, our high schools, and people, and now we have a platform to do that.
Yeah.
Right. Now, not only we make money, but we give back.
Right.
Yeah.
And we drop us new content that's gonna showcase that next week.
Mm-hmm. And I would tell those creators that are out there that's trying to pursue their dreams and whatever they're trying to do is be different, man. Don't just
like that one.
Don't just stick to the norm. If you have an idea that you ain't never heard, and if somebody shoot it down, usually go with that idea, because you know what I'm saying, those people that had that small thought process is not going to understand where your mind is going with things. So I say be different, be unique with everything you do. And then keep striving for what you want to do. If you want to create or design shirts, if you want to be a painter, if you want to be a musician, do it. You know what I'm saying? Don't let nobody tell you can't do it. And my mother always told me, die empty. You know what I'm saying? And what I mean by that is like, you only get one life. So try everything you want to try now. You know what I'm saying? Go strive and try to create whatever you want to create. If you want to design, do it now, because when you die, you don't want to feel like you held everything in. You know what I'm saying? So you want, when you laying down in that dirt, God forbid when that happens for everyone, but you want to make sure all your things that you want to do is out of you. You know what I'm saying? So try it. You're going to fail. You're going to succeed, but try everything you want to do in life.
That's awesome. Y'all inspiring me. Well, I love y'all. I appreciate y'all.
Love you too.
Have an awesome, productive weekend. You know, I'm a phone call away.
Always.
I'll send y'all this link once it's live.
Yes, I put it on the page too, so people can go watch it. So.
Awesome. Sure. All right. Well, bye, guys, and thank you all for tuning in.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you. Bye.
Peace. Bye-bye.